Our beautiful home, our world, it has so much beauty. Every corner is full of different beauties, unique different geographies, people, lives, and beliefs. There are such places in this beautiful world of ours that Mother Nature has been extremely generous. Today I am taking you to an island in Indonesia, a place that many people describe as paradise. Bali. Indonesia is the fourth largest country in the world. It covers an area of 2 million kilometers. A total population of 300 million people live in this area. Indonesia has the largest archipelago state in the world, consisting of many islands. The total number of islands is more than 17,500. Since it is located at the equator, it has a climate with extreme heat and humidity. The country has abundant forests and trees thanks to the time interval we call the rainy season, which is caused by humidity and precipitation. The country is located in Southeast Asia, between the Indian Ocean and the Pacific Ocean. The capital of the country is the city of Jakarta, and the population is 12 million. The most popular island of the country, which has been the subject of this video, is the island of Bali, which has come to the fore in the last 10 years. The island of Bali is located in the south of the country, east of the capital, Jakarta. What makes the island of Bali so popular is, first of all, the fact that it is truly a corner of paradise, where tourists discover this place and then tourism grows rapidly here, making it a favorite holiday paradise with many constructions, restaurants, and cafes. When you come to the island of Bali, you will see that almost everyone uses motorcycles or bicycles. Here you can easily travel around the whole island with a scooter by renting a motorcycle for $2 per day. We can say that the minimum wage of Balinese living on the island of Bali is an average of $300 per month. This shows us that life here is cheap, contrary to what you might expect. There's no shortage of livelihood in the country. The price of everything, especially food, is quite cheap. With your 1 month's salary, you can easily buy a late model scooter. When life is so cheap, it has become attractive to live here, not only for Asians and their own people, but also for European people. Europeans who want to live a comfortable and quality life cheaply on the island of Bali, which is almost a corner of paradise, continue to migrate to Bali day by day. First of all, if we talk about the Balinese people, the first thing I will say is that everyone is smiling from 7 to 70. Balinese people are smiling, positive, and very warm-blooded towards foreigners. They never have racist attitudes, and they are very kind. It is a Muslim country by faith. In fact, it is the most populous Muslim country in the world and a South Asian country. Muslims are scattered across these islands and have settled there. The most important thing they are sensitive about, and the only thing they expect from you, is their beliefs, and they expect you to respect them. Their faith is very important to them, and they are the most religious of all Asian countries. Muslims, Christians, Hindus, and Buddhists live here under one roof, and they all respect each other. This means that you can see rituals of different faiths on the streets of Bali. Each faith has its own temples and trees that are considered sacred. They expect you to respect them. Otherwise, you may face very harsh reactions and even be expelled from the country. For example, in the past years, a tourist was deported from Indonesia for taking a nude photo in front of the sacred temples in Indonesia and sharing it on social media. When you want to enter many temples in Bali, you must get permission. This is a very sensitive issue for Balis, but the same rules apply to private property. For example, If you climb a sacred tree and someone complains about you, you can be immediately deported by the police. Another issue that is not welcome in Bali and is strictly forbidden is drug use. If you bring drugs into this country, or if you procure and use them, if you try to trade them, the penalty can go up to death. The state structure, which makes no concessions on this issue, has extremely strict rules. When this is the case, both the local people and the people who come to live there apply these rules. Apart from these two items, if you want to spend your life in a paradise like Bali, surfing on the beach, watching the magnificent, unique sunsets, Balinese people have a society structure consisting of extremely hospitable, warm, and understanding people. You have decided to settle here and want to start a business here. The country likes to receive investment, and there are no problems with residence permits. For this, you need to open a company. You can choose the line of business you want. You can open and run a restaurant, tour agency, guide, surf school, or something of your own culture. One of the first things that comes to mind when it comes to the island of Bali is, of course, surfing. The island of Bali, which is a surf paradise, has a geography suitable for all levels of surfers here, with unique waves following each other. After a basic training you will receive, you can enjoy surfing with a surfboard on the magnificent beaches of Bali. You can even open your own school and run a surf school by hiring some of the locals who live there. Bali is a place that opens its doors wide open to everyone who pays their taxes. Apart from tourism, another business line in Bali is rice cultivation. Generally, locals work here. It is almost impossible for an outsider to produce rice. These huge rice fields outside the tourist area of Bali are not actually natural areas. They were once forested, just like other areas. With the migrations they received, especially from China, they cut down the forests in the years before the millennium and established these huge fields. Then, combined with migration from India, Bali became a rice producer. The island of Bali is home to many faiths, and Muslimism is very common on the island of Java, where the capital Jakarta is located. The local people of Bali have adopted Hindu Buddhism. In time, Hindu Buddhism spread here with migrations from China and India, and the people adopted this belief. The Balinese believe that spirits live in the oceans. Therefore, do not be surprised if you see incense burning on the beaches. Although the island of Bali has magnificent beaches, forests, and amazing natural areas, there is a huge garbage problem in the country. And unfortunately, you can see this not only in a single region, but also in the region where there is tourism and even on the beaches. The people living here can throw the garbage on the ground without hesitation. And this garbage has become such a big problem that the government spends $5 billion a year to deal with this problem. The garbage that is thrown into the seas and then into the oceans with the effect of the waves causes a great pollution. Plastics are one of the biggest problems. The calendars of the Balinese people are very different from what we know. Their calendar has 30 weeks and 3 different calendars. Each week has its own name. For example, if you ask someone when they were born, they will tell you the name of the day they were born and the name of the week. When you ask Balinese people a question about the day, month, or year, they may use one of the 3 different calendars, so the information may be a bit confusing for you. The other thing with Bali is the wild animals. If you are not good with wild animals, a permanent life in Bali may not be suitable for you. There are a lot of forests in the natural vegetation of the country, and this ensures that wild animals are abundant in the region. You should get used to seeing monkeys, insects, snakes, and more. Especially when you're walking down the road and suddenly there are snakes in front of you. You might think that many animals in the world live together in Bali. Although many wild creatures are used to the presence of humans, especially snakes, coexistence with humans can be difficult. That's why you should pay the most attention to snakes when you are there. Since snakes are a problem in itself, the people living here have found a solution. The solution is cats. Although they do not hunt snakes, they can clean the area by destroying the eggs they lay and preventing them from spreading and multiplying. Balinese people are generally dark-skinned and thin in build. Average heights are around 1.65. The people are extremely polite, but usually when you look at someone and that person notices you, they smile at you immediately. People are happy, and the reason for this is not materialism, but spirituality. That is, they are focused on their beliefs. This is the secret of their happiness. Especially children are very innocent. They make you feel at home with their smiles and warm looks. If you want to live in Bali, if you want to buy a house or a plot of land, the state has laws to prevent this. Even if the land belongs to the people, they cannot sell it to a foreigner, but you can rent a house for many years, like 25, 30 years, or you can rent land and build a house according to your own taste. The most beautiful thing is that you can feel very special in a paradise surrounded by unique trees while swimming in your pool in a modern villa. Buildings usually consist of single-story houses. Residences or apartment buildings are very few and are mostly located on the coastal areas where tourists are concentrated. The coastal areas are already full of businesses serving tourists. Another unbelievable thing in Bali is the cows. If you compare Bali with any other country, you can witness that cows are sold for 4-5 times more. While you can buy a car for $1,000, you may be shocked when you hear $10,000 price for a cow. Cows are more expensive here than anywhere else in the world. The Balinese people have strong relationships with each other and are in constant communication. When they gather for temples and rituals, they exchange information with each other. For example, a new person has moved next door from Europe. They share this information immediately, which is a good thing for them. It makes them feel safe and prepared for the unexpected. In Bali, the concept of family has adopted a patriarchal structure. Here, the man takes responsibility for the home and the woman adapts to her man. They give birth to their children and shape their lives around men. They are quite far from a feminist structure. Balinese people do not have crazy night lives here. They are also far away from alcohol and smoking. People are understanding and fragile in structure. This is because they consist of sensitive individuals with an emotional character. Because of their beliefs and because they find happiness in spirituality, this has made them more emotional and fragile. Another interesting thing in Bali is that when a new child is born, the locals take turns naming them certain names. And since the number of names is limited, there are many similarities. The names are not divided into boys or girls. The name order thing is that when people have their first child, they have to name it Maid or Vayan, and when they have their second child, they have to name it Kade or Niman. So children can get names according to certain rules. Let's talk about what you can do when you come to the island as a tourist. First of all, you can download the Grab app on your phone to travel cheaply. You can think of it like Balinese Uber. Accommodation is available for every budget. You can rent a luxury villa for $5,100 per day, or you can stay in hostels for $515. Famous online booking programs serve here. As for the food, first of all, you can find everything you want to eat in Bali very easily. But I will tell you about local restaurants. They are called warung, and I recommend you to eat nasi campur here. Nasi pilaf campur means mixed-in campur, so you know local home cooking. In the restaurants, you can choose your salad and try $2-3 delicious local dishes. The first place to see in Bali is, of course, Kuta. The closest place to you when you land at the airport, it is usually the first stop for tourists and the most well-known area of Bali. It is an area designed for tourists with heavy traffic, street vendors, and nightclubs. You can explore this area in half a day and have fun at the Sky Garden, the most famous nightclub in the region. Next up is Ubud, the most peaceful, greenest, and incredible place in Bali that is still steeped in culture. If you want to escape the city life and spend a day or two wandering through rice fields, staying in temple-like houses, or practicing yoga, meditation, and finding yourself, Ubud is the place for you. You can stay for $3-4 in this incredible natural wonder where you can feel the influence of Hinduism at every corner. You can also taste the world's most expensive coffee where it is produced. Let's come to one of the most developed places on the island, Seminyak. When you think of Bali, you think of wide beaches, beach clubs, surf spots, and famous nightclubs. The beach clubs I can recommend for Seminyak are Mississippi, Koh Dita, and Potato Head. You can visit them. If you are coming to Seminyak, Bali, I definitely recommend you to come here and watch the sunset. Let's take a 10-kilometer drive north from Seminyak, Kang Bue. The coastal town of Bali is especially famous for its surf spots and fast nightlife. You can start the night at Poison, which has a skateboard rink in the middle, and end it at the Old Man Bar, the most famous club in town. Let's go to the south of the island. Uluwatu, Bali's most famous area, dazzling with its huge cliffs rising against the ocean, where the nightlife is very lively but also very expensive. Single Fin, built on the top of the cliffs, offers its visitors an incredible sunset while taking a dip in the pool against the ocean. Let's go a little to the east of the island. Amed, the coastal area, is famous for its temple, which travelers often stop by to take this photo. While you are here, be sure to see the Pura Lempuyang Temple, which consists of 7 different religious buildings. And now to the paradise island of Bali, Nusa Penida. With its exotic natural wonders, diverse underwater life, and breathtaking landscapes, Nusa Penida is a must-see. And finally, I will give you 2 suggestions about Bali. 1. Do not buy anything in Bali without bargaining. In fact, whatever the sellers offer you, tell them half of it. 2. At the money exchange offices, ask the clerk to count the money in front of you and give it to you. When the clerk finishes, you count it again, and then take the money. In summary, the island of Bali is a heavenly place that should definitely be visited as a tourist. It can be one of the best places in the world to live. Friendly, warm people, a corner of paradise where everything is cheap, where inflation does not bother, where you can live a comfortable life for cheap. If you liked my video, Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel so that I can produce such content. You can contact me on my Instagram account for any requests, questions, and suggestions. See you soon.